The old family Bible had sat untouched on the highest shelf for almost 30 years. No one opened it. Not after their father died. Not after the arguments tore the family apart. Then one rainy afternoon, Michael climbed into the attic to clear out the old house. He reached for the dusty Bible one last time. As he opened it, a yellowed envelope slipped onto the wooden floor. Across the front were 6 haunting words: "Open only when you forgive me." Michael froze. Because until that very moment, he hadn't forgiven his father. Sometimes the greatest inheritance isn't money. Sometimes it is a truth waiting to be discovered. This is the story of a forgotten Bible, a hidden letter, and a second chance that arrived decades too late. Spring, 1993. Michael was only 24 years old. His father, Thomas Carter, had spent 38 years working at the same steel factory. Thomas believed in hard work, patience, and keeping promises. Michael believed the future belonged to dreamers willing to take risks. He wanted to move across the country and build a technology company. His father feared he was making the biggest mistake of his life. Their conversations slowly became arguments. Then one evening, Thomas quietly held the old family Bible. "If you leave angry," he said, "don't let pride keep you away." Michael answered with bitter words, "I don't need this family anymore." The front door slammed shut. Neither of them knew it would be their final goodbye. 6 months later, the phone rang. Thomas had suffered a massive heart attack. Michael drove as fast as he could through the pouring rain. But he arrived too late. At the funeral, he stood silently at the back of the church. He couldn't bring himself to walk toward the casket. There were no more words left to say. Only regret. After the funeral, he buried himself in work. Years passed. Success filled his bank account. But guilt never left his heart. Every Father's Day reminded him of the door he had slammed. 28 years later, after his mother passed away, Michael returned home. He quietly packed away decades of memories. Every object reminded him of childhood. His father's old glasses still rested on the table. Then he looked toward the highest shelf. The old Bible was still there. He carefully opened it. The forgotten envelope fell into his hands once again. This time, he was finally ready. With trembling hands, Michael unfolded the letter. "My son, if you are reading this, perhaps God has softened both our hearts. I have often wondered if I loved you the wrong way. I wanted to protect you, but perhaps I tried too hard to control you. I was never angry because you wanted to leave. I was only afraid the world would hurt you. I forgave you the night you slammed the door. And every day after that, I prayed you would forgive yourself." A second sheet of paper slipped from the envelope. It was a record of monthly savings his father had quietly made for him over 20 years. Thomas had never stopped believing his son would one day come home. Michael held the Bible against his chest and wept harder than he had at the funeral. The next morning, he drove 6 hours to visit his own son, Daniel. When Daniel opened the door, Michael whispered, "I don't want us to lose any more time." Father and son embraced without another word. From that Christmas forward, the family gathered together every year around the same old Bible. Michael would always read his father's letter aloud before dinner. He would smile and say, "Forgiveness isn't something you remember once. It's something you choose again and again." Perhaps somewhere in your home, an old letter, an old Bible, or an old wound is still waiting to be opened. Don't wait too long, because love often waits more patiently than we ever imagine.